What is the strategy to help homeowners become real estate investors, especially if you own a home and you want to rent it out in order to buy bigger? A mortgage broker explained to have a 720 credit score, 45% debt to income ratio, and 20% to put down.
Sorry.
Need transitioning assistance with what to expect, what to do as the first step. Of course, apply for a loan, but there's no 1, 2, 3 step on how to transition yourself from living in your home to now renting it out and buying bigger.
Okay. Well, it depends. I guess I have some questions on this. And I think, living in the home that you have right now, is it a duplex? Is it a single family home? That's all very, very important to try to answer this question. I mean, if it's a duplex, then that's a house hacking opportunity, right? So you have the opportunity to rent out the other side of the property and cash flow, and that's covering your mortgage that you live in. Now, if you have a house that you currently own and you want to continue living in the house, then putting a tenant in that property is going to be difficult unless you have a separated area of the house that you can consider renting it out, and you can structure it in such a way that it becomes a portion rental property. And you'll want to you want to speak to your CPA about doing that properly, so that you can then write off a portion of that property in a certain way. But you need to be careful about that. So again, an Airbnb strategy, there's a lot of people that will rent out a room in the house. Now, do they have shared access to a kitchen? All of those things are to be considered if you're thinking about doing something like that. Do you want to have a roommate that's basically living with you, sharing your kitchen? Sure. Hey, if you want to do that and you want them to pay rent, that's a great way for you to be able to pay down your mortgage that you currently have and take on a tenant in the property. Why not? Right? We have an incredible demand for properties in the United States right now. So if you can offer a great rental rate for someone to live in the property, rent out a room and have access to a certain part of the house, great. Do that if that's something you want to do. I wouldn't discourage you at all from doing that. But if you're talking about moving out of the home, then you're going to want to definitely talk to your bank about that, because now it's not a primary mortgage anymore. You may consider, or you may find out that you have an opportunity to refinance the property after you move out. You might not have to do anything. We had a primary mortgage on a property. After we moved out of that property, we kept it and we rented it out, and we continued to pay the mortgage, and the tenant paid the mortgage. So it's really up to you what you want to do. Do you want to continue to live in the property and rent out a portion of it while you live there? If you want to move, then great. Move and place a tenant in that property. Make sure that you're not becoming a property manager, that you're hiring a property management company now, because now this is an investment property. This is not a primary property anymore, and you're not living in that property. And you can't suddenly create a new business for yourself, which is to become a landlord and create a property management company and be vetting tenants and signing lease agreements. Like, you need to treat this as a business and start to hand that off to a potential property management company. So my first step in this is I would want to find out, okay, well, how much am I paying for my mortgage? Am I paying $800, $1,200 a month or whatever it happens to be? And then I want to find out after that, what can I get for rent in this property? So I would be contacting a local property management company, and I'd be talking about the process with them. Say, hey there, Charlie, I've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. I want to move. I want to turn this into a rental property. What do I need to do? They'll say, great, we'd like to come take a look at it. We want to see how much we think we could rent in that neighborhood. They're going to give you a rental rate based on what they think that area is going for. They'll set it up and say, okay, I think we need to improve this, or we need to, get this carpet cleaned, or whatever we need to do here, get photos taken, and we need to start marketing the property. And then we're also going to take care of vetting the tenants, doing background checks on the tenants, and all of those things. So I think it really comes down to what you want to do. But there's answers for each of these selections. Getting a tenant in the property that you're living in, great. Moving out of the property, then now you have a tenant covering the mortgage of the property while you move out and look for other properties to invest in. So it seems like a couple of moving pieces there. I'm not quite sure exactly where you want to go with this. Maybe you can leave us another voicemail question and kind of clear it up a little bit. But, there's so many options here in this situation. But I think it's a great thing that you're looking into, because now you can have a tenant covering the mortgage on that particular property. If you have any questions that you would like answered here on the show, please feel free to reach out to us. Just go to morrisinvest.com, click on the microphone icon, and leave us a voicemail message. We will try to answer it here live on the show. My thanks to all of you. Now go out there, take action, become a real estate investor. I believe it's the number one way to build wealth. We'll see you next time, everyone.